This is the plaintiff, Robin Powell. She says the defendant, her landlord, was bad news from the very moment she moved in, and now she's out a whole heap of money. First, he killed her cat, called her white trash, and even called Child Protective Services on her. The guy's as bad as they come, and she's suing here and now for $5,000, just a fraction of what she's owed. This is the defendant, Jonathan. He says the plaintiff lied from the day he met her, and he didn't do any of the things he's being accused of here in court. In fact, the plaintiff was a consistent troublemaker and was abusive to her kids. Even Child Protective Services got involved. Oh, her money? No way. He's accused of being the worst of the worst. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $7,000 for physical and emotional distress and harassment. Court.
Okay,
in fact, the
right out of
plaintiff
the
was a
gate,
consistent
this case is
troublemaker
already a
and was
full-blown
abusive to her kids.
landlord-tenant war.
Even Child
Robin
Protective
wants
Services got involved.
$5,000.
Oh, her
Jonathan
money?
fires back
No
with a
way.
$7,000
He's accused of being the
countersuit, and both
worst of
sides
the
are accusing
worst.
each other of making life miserable. But here's the big question.
The
When
defendant has filed a
courtroom
countersuit
dust
for
settles,
$7,000
who actually has evidence
for physical
and
and
who just
emotional
has
distress
anger?
and her.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Robin Powell, you are suing Jonathan. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name, and we'll respect that, for $5,000 that you say he owes you for various and sundry things that you say he tormented you about during the time of your tenancy. Now, Ms. Powell, you lived there for how long?
I lived there for 13 months.
And it's you and who?
It's me and my 3 children.
How old are they?
13 and 14 and 17.
Okay.
So, but at the time, we were going through some hard times. We're actually homeless. I was really happy. I got my Section 8 housing voucher. You know, I saw a for rent sign in front of his house. We made an appointment. I came and looked at the place. I asked him, would you be willing to...
Okay, but I don't need to hear all these details. You move
Okay.
in because you're suing about stuff that happened after you moved in.
Right.
So you move in. You're on Section 8.
Right.
So Section 8 pays how much of your rent?
Out of 1055, I was paying $178, so it was like $9.
Okay. All right. So you move in, and when do the problems begin?
Right away, he is like coming to my door, banging on the door in front of me and the children, screaming. I mean, like shaking his fist, saying I'm white trash and stuff.
Why?
He was saying, like, don't put trash in my trash can, different things, you know, like I asked him, do you know where my newspapers are? He said, I threw them away because you didn't ask for permission to have them delivered. He came, he wanted me to sign his paper. He says that I'm not allowed to use air conditioners. I had put 2 window air conditioners in. So meanwhile, he's shutting my circuit breakers off 4 times. I had to call the police. I called housing. They talked to him, listen, you can't do that. You know, he tries to evict us. We go see the judge. She says,
on what grounds? On the grounds that you wouldn't sign the air conditioning agreement?
He had...
And that's an
In fact, the
important
plaintiff
distinction.
was a consistent
Winning an
troublemaker
eviction
and
dispute
was
does not
abusive to her
automatically
kids.
mean
Even
you get a
Child
separate
Protective
cash
Services got
payout for
involved.
harassment.
Oh,
In
her
court,
money?
you
No
generally
way.
have to connect the money
He's
you're
accused of being
demanding
the
to a
worst
legally
of the
supported
worst.
claim and prove the damages. So Robin may have won one battle,
The defendant has
but
filed a
that doesn't
countersuit for
automatically mean she wins this
$7,000 for physical and
$5,000
emotional
war.
distress.
4 reasons. One of them was because I put 2 air conditioning units in against his request. One said that I used profanity against him. The other one says that I didn't follow the rules by putting the air conditioners in, and also because I had a cat. So the judge says, you know, you have no foundation here or anything. You know, just leave this family alone. Judgment was made in my favor.
Is
And
this what you are suing for $500 owed for wrongful eviction?
yes.
So why is it that even after you win, you need to be paid $500?
Well, I'm suing for harassment. I thought it would just be like a lump sum kind of
Okay.
that.
All right, so go ahead. Tell me more about the harassment.
Okay, so,
Tell me about the cat.
okay, we walk outside. There's, you know, me and the children, there's our cat laying dead on the ground. His girlfriend was there. You know, I said, do you know what happened? She says, well, it's been dead for 5 hours. And I just said, too bad, I wish you could have told me about it so the kids didn't see. So it was
Right.
one of the only times that I ever went to his door. And he says, I'm tired of waiting on people. I have no clue what that even meant. He walks over, he picks up the dead cat, tosses her in a trash can right in front of me and my children. I mean, we're just like in horror, okay? So that was just one incident. Later, he was arrested and found guilty for trespassing into my house.
Wait. He got arrested for trespassing?
Yes, it was September 6th of '09. I came home, the door was wide open. I said, Jonathan, were you in my house? He says, I'm allowed in there whenever I want and everything. I'm like,
Is there a lease?
Yes.
And what does the lease say about him coming over?
Well, it did actually say that he does have the right to come into the apartment for inspections and repair.
So did he really get arrested for trespassing?
Yes, because
What happened with the trespass case?
I was never arrested.
Oh, okay.
It went to court,
Okay.
okay?
Well, okay, but that's all right. That's the concept of arrest doesn't necessarily mean dragging you physically into a jail cell.
Yeah.
It means you were charged criminally.
I was
So it
charged.
went to court, and what happened?
I had to pay like $25.
So you were found guilty.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that is
what was the
between-
actual problem you had with her?
Her attitude. She would be hollering out the kitchen window, giving me the finger, saying, you, buddy, ha, 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 ha. She had no respect towards me. She broke so many rules on the lease, okay? She was supposed, no animals were allowed. We went to the eviction court, okay? The judge favored her, fine. But the cat was supposed to be removed. She never removed the cat.
So you killed it?
No.
Okay, well, she thinks you
Okay,
think
let's
that,
go on. Let's
that the
go on.
girlfriend
Let's
killed
okay.
the cat, right?
Let's stay on the cat.
No, hold on. You think the girlfriend killed the cat? What evidence do you have of that?
I don't know, and I didn't think that ever until all of this, after all this had transpired. I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay.
Because he's a very...
Go ahead.
Okay. There's no proof that the cat was ran over. Okay. When my girlfriend pulled out, she saw the cat there. So I came home that night and I saw the cat. So I looked at it and I said, you didn't run over it, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. It just crawled under there, died. It may have gotten.
Okay, either way,
Hit.
all right. So, but does anybody call her and say your cat is dead, or not really? You just wait for her to get home?
Yeah, I just waited for her to get home.
Because by this point, you don't get along anyway.
Right.
But what caused the beginning of the not getting along?
Her attitude. She has a problem with me for some reason. I'm walking down the street one day. My car broke down. She pulls beside me and she says, ha, 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 you, buddy, and then keeps on going.
What's your response to this stuff?
Well, basically, he had ran from the cops, and he got his car confiscated because he didn't have his license for more than 5 years. I just happened to be driving up the road, and I did. I was like, oh, my God, can you believe that's Jonathan? Well, yeah, this.
Well,
and I pulled up, and I was like, want to ride? And I gave him the finger.
Number one.
He was a
And this was
real-
after you moved
This
out?
was way, yeah. I'm not even that type person.
Court.
Now things
In fact,
get
the
messy.
plaintiff was a
The
consistent
trespassing
troublemaker.
issue has
and
already
was
produced a
abusive
court
to her kids.
outcome against
Even Child
Jonathan,
Protective
but the
Services
cat
got
accusation
involved.
is a
Oh,
completely
her
different
money?
story.
No way.
Robin clearly
He's accused
believes
of being
something
the worst
suspicious
of the
happened, but
worst.
belief and proof are not the same thing. And that difference is about
The defendant
to
has filed a
become
countersuit for
absolutely crucial in this courtroom.
$7,000.
Oh, yeah, you are.
No, normally.
No, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Because if
After-
anybody who would do that, is that your daughter sitting there? Oh, Lord. Anybody who would A, do that on the street, and B, do that on national television right now is somebody who
He
does that. So
tortured
you are
us,
that
and
kind
I
of.
was angry. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about the wrongful eviction we talked about, the trespassing we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now $1,000 of making false allegations. Tell me about that.
Okay, on the third time that we didn't have heat or hot water, I called him. I said, you know, what's going on with the heat and hot water? He starts yelling and screaming. He hangs up. An hour and 19 minutes later, I get a phone call from Child Protective Services saying that they received a call, and the complainant said that the three reasons, about abuse allegations, that I had argued with my son for 30 minutes that I smoked cigarettes and that I was on medication.
How do you know he's the one who called?
Well, of course, children youth cannot say exactly who it was, but
Did you
in
call?
Officer McMoran's
called.
report.
You called.
Yes,
Why
I
did
did.
you call?
Why did I call? Because
Because she complained about the heat?
no, the way she was cussing at her children for over a half an hour. And this was done several times. I mean, she yelled at her son.
Were you doing it out of your concern for the kids?
Yes,
Or were you doing it because you just about had enough of her?
I was doing it for her kids,
Okay.
actually. I don't think her kids should be going through that abuse.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So is it wrong to give somebody the finger in front of your 15-year-old daughter?
Yes, it is.
How come?
Because you should be being an example for your daughter and teaching them how to be when they're older.
Is the finger just so
Court.
Hold on,
In
this
fact,
is
the
where the
plaintiff
case
was
takes a
consistent
serious turn.
troublemaker and
Robin
was
says the
abusive to her
Child
kids.
Protective
Even
Services
Child Protective
report came
Services got
shortly after an
involved.
argument
Oh,
about
her
the
money?
heat and hot
No
water.
way.
Jonathan
He's
says he
accused of being
called
the
because he
worst
was
of the
genuinely
worst.
concerned about the children. So what do you think, was this a legitimate report?
The defendant has filed a
or was a
countersuit for
personal feud being taken way too
$7,000
far?
for physical.
common now that it really kind of doesn't have the impact that it had, say, 20 years ago?
I think it is. I think that, most 15-year-olds are probably using it quite a bit
So
themselves.
you don't have a problem with this?
I didn't say that. I think that it's still disrespectful, but it doesn't seem to be that.
Do you have a problem with it?
I absolutely do. I think it's just setting the wrong example. There's enough wrong examples out there already. So being a parent, why would you allow?
Brittany and Paris and Lindsay and Brittany going inside the courtroom.
Yeah, I'm going to read from your answer to the complaint. I never made any false allegations against the plaintiff. On numerous occasions, I would hear her hollering and cursing at her kids, so I made a report to the Child Care Center, and Child Protective Services got involved. The plaintiff was a consistent troublemaker while she lived here. Whenever I would speak to her, she would yell and curse me out. If she was going to play hardball, I was going to play hardball. That sounds like maybe you called Child Protection Services in to play hardball, right?
In a sensible way. But I
Do you
did
think
it for
that's
the
what they're there
children.
for?
But I did it for the children.
Yeah? You did
I
it for the
did, yes,
children?
yes, I did, yeah.
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so.
I did.
Nah, not really.
And how did he
I think
know
you,
that I
I'm
was
sorry.
on
Did I
I'm
breathe and give
sorry.
you the impression I was done speaking?
I'm sorry.
I don't think you did it for the children. I think you did it for Jonathan because you'd had enough of her, and you were trying to make her life difficult so she would just get out already. And so you enlisted Child Protection Services, who have real stuff to do, okay, to come in and investigate her, which is odd considering the allegation is you smoke, which is legal, you take medication,
How
which
would
is
he know
legal.
that? How would he even know
I don't know,
that?
but there's not unless you're shooting heroin, taking medication's legal. That sounds legal, okay? And you yell at your kids, which is legal.
For half
so
an hour.
why did they investigate? I don't even understand that.
Court.
And there's
In
the
fact,
final
plaintiff
reality
was a
check.
consistent
After all
troublemaker
the
and was
accusations,
abusive to her
arguments,
kids. Even
eviction
Child
drama,
Protective Services got
trespassing
involved.
claims,
Oh, her
and that
money?
massive
No
$7,000
way.
countersuit,
He's
neither
accused of
side
being
walks
the
away
worst
with the
of
money
the
they wanted.
worst.
The judge's message is simple. Not every ugly dispute becomes
The
a
defendant has filed a
successful
countersuit for
lawsuit. Sometimes the
$7,000
evidence doesn't
for
support
physical
the
and emotional
damages,
distress
and
and
sometimes the
harassment.
best legal outcome is simply
But
to
I guess
stop
I've been sworn, Your
fighting
Honor.
and move on.
Douglas Robin much. All right, so now you have a counterclaim against her for $7,000, and now why would you like to ching let that cash register ring? What is the reason why she has to pay you $7,000
Okay,
for slander,
$3,000.
harassment, and emotional and physical distress?
That's right.
Okay, what's the physical distress? That's the one that's got me the most curious.
Physically, I couldn't think straight. Okay? Number one. Okay?
Do you think physically?
At one point, I didn't even want to drive into my driveway to my
Okay.
house.
You guys, seriously, both of you go see a therapist, okay? This is not a court case by any stretch of any imagination. The closest thing to a court case is the $1,000 for making false allegations to to the child protection team in your town. I think you have a special place in hell for having done that, because we all know that the reason you did it is because you guys don't get along, and that is just vile. Because these people should be doing real work. The problem with you collecting as a result of it is that the essence is he filed a false claim. What should have happened is whoever took his complaint in should have just hung up. there shouldn't have been anything followed up on, because just giving something that's absolutely not a problem should not have been investigated at all. That's just goofy that got investigated. Okay? So you can't collect money for that or any of the other things you're suing for. You can't collect money or any things you're suing for, and both of you seriously need to move on with your lives. Good luck, folks.
All right, just hold on right there, please.
Well, let's find out what the state of affairs is with the plaintiff here coming out after this case here. Just step up right next to me. So, are you moving on now?
I just don't think it's fair that somebody could torment somebody and try to get them arrested all the time. I mean, he was screaming, at our door every day.
You hate him. And it seems like he hates you. What is it? Can't you people just let it go and move on?
We were peaceful people. I mean, but after a year of every single day, he did
You've been
stuff.
gone there for a year, right? And you're still dragging the guy around. Why don't you just, let him go?
I think somebody should be held accountable for all of the...
All right. Well, judge says it's over now, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so head around the corner there, and let's see what the big guy has to say about this. Are you ready to give it up, or you want to keep fighting this lady?
I want to give it up. I don't want to have anything to do with this woman. But she keeps on interfering in my life. She keeps on going by my house.
She's still doing it now?
Yes. Okay, giving me the finger, saying,
You sure it's her?
Oh, it's her.
Are you seeing things?
It's her. She is the most evil woman I've ever met in my life.
Let's go to Harvey.
Okay, there's often immunity in most states for calling children's services, even if it's a bogus claim, because they want to encourage people to make claims when they are valid and not be scared. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.